Nice. Welcome to this video lesson on a bit of new grammar. This is to accompany Chapter 3 of Lingua Latina per se illustrata. So the new grammar is the accusative, and specifically in this chapter we're dealing with the accusative singular. So the first thing you want to understand about the Latin accusative case is that it's pretty easy to compare it to English objective case pronouns. Now, if that's a bit of terminology that you're not familiar with, just look at my example here. Whom do you see? I see him, her, and them. Now, the underlined words whom, him, her, and them are called objective case pronouns. Why do we call them objective case? Well, again, another technical word, a direct object is the object of a verb's action, okay? So an action verb, which we technically here call a transitive verb, that's a verb that takes a direct object. The action of that verb is directed at an object. Whom do you see? Well, you see whom. Whom is the person or the questioned person at which the seeing is directed. Now we see it a little bit more easily, I think easier to understand in the answer, I see him, okay, so where is the seeing directed? Well, at the him. Her, okay, there's another object or direct object, and I see them. Again, you can see that them receives the action of see. Now we could do it with another transitive verb, like I hear him, her, and them. I hit him, her, and them. I love him, her, and them. So any transitive verb that takes a direct object, you can have these objective case pronouns. Now we also use these objective case pronouns as objects of prepositions sometimes. For example, I could say like I am going to him, or I am going to run into them at the store, something like that. So objective case pronouns are used for direct objects in English and also as objects of preposition. Now, like our objective case pronouns in English, whom, him, her, and them, which actually do come from Old English accusative and dative cases, because we used to have all these various fancy cases. Like these objective case pronouns in English, the Latin accusative singular usually ends in the letter M. All right, so that's useful to know. It will help us out in recognizing it and just becoming more familiar with it at first. All right, next, words in the accusative case in Latin can be thought of as targets, like you're shooting at them, since as direct objects, they receive the action of the verb, right? It's directed at them. You can even say, I, shoot him, right? And him is the direct object, right? So in Latin, again, it's gonna be accusative case. Also, words in the accusative case may be the object of a preposition in Latin, especially a preposition that shows motion or directions towards something. For example, if I wanted to say he is going to Rome, Rome would have to be in the accusative case in Latin, it'd be Romam. And if I wanted to say he is sailing into Italy or towards Italy, something like that, I would have to say Italiam. If I said he was going to the town, the word for town would have to be accusative, oppidum, and so on. So again, whether it's a direct object or whether we're dealing with motion towards a thing or a person, in Latin that's going to be accusative. And both of those, again, can conceptually be thought of as targets. So let's look at some Latin examples, and I will translate these so you can understand them. But I have the key accusative words, and these are all going to be accusative singulars. I have the key accusative Latin words underlined. All right. Quem videt? Whom does he see? Marcum videt? He sees Marcus. Now, one quick note, the verb videt, because of the T ending, that T ending understands a he, she, or it subject. So I could have also translated, whom does she see? She sees Marcus. All right. And then, vir quem videt est Marcus? The man whom he, or perhaps whom she sees, is Marcus. So again here, if we look at quem, which appears twice, both as a question word, interrogative, quem in the first, and also as a relative pronoun in the last sentence there. And then also the word marcum, quem and marcum, both end in M, just like we mentioned a minute ago. All right, next line. Quam pater audit. Whom does father hear? Pater te audit. Father hears you. Puella quam pater audit est tu. The girl whom father hears is you. Now, here we have quam, and quam also means whom, just like quem meant whom. But if you'll look at the examples, you might be able to guess that quem is going to be the masculine form of whom, and quam is the feminine. Notice it has an A in it. You should be getting used to the A in feminine words. So quam is whom as a feminine. And then one other thing, te, that is one of the accusative words here, but notice it does not end with M. So I said most accusative singulars end with M in Latin, but not all. Just like in English, we can say I see him, I see them, and those both end with the letter M. But if I say I see her, it doesn't end with an M. So it's not always going to be the case that they end with M, but it's just frequent. So te means you, and here we're talking about you meaning one person, not you meaning multiple people. And also te, you need to understand, is accusative case. All right, next line. Quem puella pulsat. Whom does the girl hit or beat? Puella me pulsat. The girl is beating me. Puer quem pulsat est ego. The boy whom she is beating is I. All right. Now, if you prefer to say is me, just know that that's incorrect grammar, but it's the colloquial, normal, everyday way of speaking in English. But we should say the boy whom she is beating is I. All right. Now, may, just like te up above, is an objective pronoun. It is accusative case, but just like te, it does not end with M. So may and te are both accusative for you and me, respectively, even though they don't end with the M. The quem, again, we've already seen, meaning whom. All right, next line. Marcus quintum pulsat. Marcus is beating up Quintus. Quintum Marcus pulsat. Marcus is beating up Quintus. Quintum pulsat Marcus. Marcus is beating up Quintus. Now, wait a minute, you might say. The word order changed. Didn't that change something? No. All of these sentences essentially say the same thing. And that's with the equivalency sign there that you may see. So because quintum, the word for Quintus, ends with an M, we know that he is the direct object. And it really doesn't matter what word order we put these in, because Marcus, with the us ending, tells us that's nominative. In other words, that word Marcus has to be the subject, no matter where I put it in the Latin sentence. Whereas quintum ends with the M, and so I know that has to be accusative direct object, no matter where I put it in the sentence. And then the verb pulsat, I can throw it in wherever I want to, the beginning, the middle, the end, it does not matter. Okay, so there's a little bit of kind of stress differentiation as to which word you put first and last, but it does not change essentially the meaning of the sentence. That's the flexibility of Latin word order. All right, our next line, Aemilia, Iulium vocat, Iulium vocat Aemilia, vocat Aemilia, Iulium. All of these, again, mean Aemilia calls Julius. Julius, in the nominative would be Iulius, but here we get Iulium in all three sentences, so we know he is the direct object. Why? Well, because he ends in M, right? The word Iulium is the accusative singular ending in All right, and then finally, in Italiam venet, he or she comes into Italy. In oppidum venet, he or she comes into town. Now notice both of those there. You have the accusatives not as a direct object, but as the object of the preposition in. And here in means not in, on, or at, but rather into. And so you're dealing with motion towards. So unlike in chapter one where we had like in Italia with the long A, or in Opido, in the town, here we're talking about direction towards a place. So if it's direction towards, you need this new accusative case. In Italiam with the M ending, in Opidum with the M ending. All right. Hope that made sense and you learned a few things about accusative singular. Volete omnes.